Show, Peter G Show, divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad, Peter G Show.
Sunday night. Here we are, folks. Sunday night right here live in my 6 weeks of summer tour, live in the Gulf Coast, and I'm digging every second of it. That's all I can tell you. Give everybody a little chance to cut in, kick in, get your adult beverage, kick back, glass of wine, a beer, whatever. Doesn't get any better than this, folks. I mean it. Hell of a week. I hope everybody's doing okay. We're really good. Really, really good. Let me get situated here. Don't forget, if you want to comment live, you need to be on YouTube, The Peter G Show. LinkedIn Live. You need to be on the official Peter G Show page, because if you're on the offset pages, I won't be able to see you comment live. In fact, I need to do all that too. Holy moly. Sure. But if you want to comment live. If you don't, and you want to just watch and kick back, I mean, you know, it's all good. We're still here. But I can't see all your comments on the other Facebook pages and all that stuff. It's too much going on. I have a big giant monitor in front of me. It conglomerates, it just brings in all the main pages, but there's all those little off pages I have on Facebook. And if you're commenting from them, I may catch them, I may not. So if you want to be heard, which reminds me, those of you, you need to subscribe to YouTube. I've been saying this a lot, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute, but you need to, because Facebook's been weird, and we're going to get into that too, especially with Bob. But there's things are changing, and in fact, I'll be even entering into another platform here shortly next month, and YouTube is a little more steady. I mean, they're not giving me as much trouble, and you can get to them, and it's easy, and all the shows are in, are in order, and it's just much simpler, and you can comment. All I can say is, and it's free. Everybody thinks just because you say subscribe, like there's money involved. There's no money involved. Just do it. I know most of you are on Facebook because I started on Facebook, but you'll thank me in the long run because things are changing, people. I can guarantee you that. Things are changing. Anyway, it's been another hell of a fan-friggin-tastic week here in the Gulf Coast. I've been working hard. All right, not so hard, but I've been working. There's no rest for the wicked. I mean, everybody thinks that this whole talk show thing is all fun and games. I mean, it's not. There's a lot of work involved in it, you know. All right, maybe I didn't work that hard, but you know, there is work involved. There is work involved. I did subscribe. It's still on Facebook. All right, Michael. See, you can lead him to water, but you can't make him drink. Anyway, but good to see you anyway. As long as you make it. It's just confusing the hell out of these numbers, people, because the problem is that I'm somewhere between 3 and 3 million. I don't know, 6 million, whatever. But they go, but you're scattered all over the place. We can't count. It's like, as long as they're watching, who cares? At least that's the way I feel. Anyway, big night tonight. Speaking of, like, I'm in Florida. My special end-of-the-month guest is in Florida on the other side of Florida. So technically, we still are East meets West, even though we're both in the same state. He's on the east side of the state. I'm on the definite farthest west side of the state of Florida. And I gave him last month off because I took Memorial Day weekend off, and the last weekend fell on Memorial Day weekend. And so it's been 2 months, and boy, oh boy, have I been watching the process of life go around. And I know Bob's got a lot to talk about too. So I have the infamous Baltimore's own Mr. Bob Paff on tonight. It's going to be on in just a few minutes. Just want to get to one more thing, 2 more things. Just every day. I mean, I want you to know the weekly stuff. I'm an open book. I went to lunch. I took my cousin's mother. She's up there in age. I took her to lunch the other day, and it's your and yeah, I know. I'm saving that for a surprise. So I took my cousin's mother. I don't know, I'm cracking myself up. I took my cousin's mother to lunch, and we went to a really nice place. I wanted to go someplace she hasn't gone. I took her someplace right on the water, right in almost the Alabama-Florida line, and she was happy as hell about it. And just because she's one of the last of the elders in what little family I have. So we're sitting there, and I'm talking, and I'm kind of loud. I'm not really a soft speaker because I'm half deaf. But I mean, I wasn't talking real loud, but I was talking. I'm just not a whisperer. And is this thing frozen? Hey, what the hell's going on here? Hello? I don't see me moving. Please stand by. The problem is not with your TV. That's a first. You see that, Bob? I'm frozen in time. Holy crap. Hey, for those of you who see this, it's just I'm just holding one of my favorite still shots. That is interesting. Might have to switch cameras. Let's see if it's the camera. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, so let's try switching cameras again. Camera number 4. Wow. Okay. All right. The problem is not with your TV. It's right here, so I'm going to look into this one. This is what happens when you're by yourself. So anyway, so here's the thing. So I took my cousin's mother to lunch because, again, she's 88, 89. Looks great for her age. But I'm sitting there and I'm talking to her, and some other people come and they now I'm staring at the wrong camera. So they come and I'm talking, and some other people, they pull up in their boat. You can pull your boat up to this place and go eat lunch or dinner or whatever. And they go and they sit down, and I'm talking, we're just talking about, I don't know, whatever. And she's like, I don't know what happened. I know, Paul. I don't know. Electronics. This is a first. And I don't want to get up to fix it. And I got nobody here, Paul. You should be here, Paul. But anyway. So I'm talking, and this one guy, he gets up and he looks at me, goes, you got a radio voice. And this, my cousin's mother just looks at me, and I look at him. I go, thank you. And I said, they said I got a great face for radio too. I go, my sponsors will appreciate that. He goes, you do radio? I go, kind of, sort of. It's a little bit different. He says, well, I could tell. You got that kind of voice. Really sweetheart kind of guy. I'm looking at the wrong camera again. Sorry. But anyway, I just thought, I love that. It's not the first time that's happened. But I never used to think that. For years, it's like, I'm a musician. I want to stay a musician. I like being a musician. And that's where I'll stay. Hindsight's 2020. Here we are, hence several years later. Everything goes to hell. And hi, my name is Peter G, and you're watching the Peter G Show. Okay, so speaking of the Peter G Show, I could not be here if it was not for my beloved, and I'm going to have to get up and see if I can fix this. So if I don't come back, I could not be here if it wasn't for my beloved Bolt Energy, folks. Electrify your senses, Bolt Energy. And Pepsi and I are going to tell you about it real quick, all right? So please stand by.
Hey everybody, Peter G from the Peter G Show here. The greatest divorced and single parenting talk show guy, period. I talk about real life. People need to talk about real life. Speaking about real, meet Bolt Energy, the real deal. Why Bolt Energy, you ask? Good question. It's a cleaner energy drink. No preservatives. No preservatives. Fortified with minerals, vitamins, and nutrients. Meat? Not so much. Here's something that really is the kicker that you probably didn't know. George Washington took a ton of this stuff across the Delaware. How do you think we won the war? I cannot tell a lie. So ask for it by name, Bolt Energy. Tell them Peter G from the Peter G Show sent you. And as always, love you guys. Peace out.
Peter G Show.
That's right. Peace out. Bolt Energy. If you can't find Bolt Energy, go to LLC, Bolt Energy, Twitter, Bolt Energy, YouTube, Bolt Energy, Facebook. They're all up there, and Bolt Energy Instagram too. And we're back, and I think I got that problem licked. Fixed it myself. Thank you, YouTube. Anyway, oh wow. So now it's time, folks. The moment I've been waiting for. Bob, are you ready? Okay, good. I see him giving me the thumbs up sign. So I have not seen Bob Paff, have not talked to Bob Paff in just about 2 months, but I'm going to get ready to bring in the infamous, the almighty, Baltimore's own, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bob Paff.
Hey.
There you go. There you go.
There you go. Here we are.
Well, a long time no see, buddy.
I know. What are you, an hour behind me in Pensacola?
I am now.
Right?
Yeah, it's Central Time because we're past Tallahassee is Central Time. But the thing is, so now I'm an hour closer to you, and as opposed to 2 hours behind, because you were talking about still 11:30 your time. It's still, you still got to stay up and deal with this. But look at the payoff.
I know, man. Here I am. You're right.
Yeah, here you are. A couple of things. Again, I was mentioning that I guess you heard that a lot of people have not seen you on the show in 2 months, and a lot of people have not seen you. Period.
This is true.
It is true, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. But we're going to start by it's like I don't. First of all, let's go to that because we're going to cover just generic. What a hassle it is to be this, and so you got hacked. Right?
Yeah, I did.
You got hacked on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about it.
It was about a little bit over a month ago that I got hacked. And, there's nobody at Facebook that you can talk to or really anything. They don't really have a good system for, at least not from my experience and my perspective, that you can reach out to anybody and get any help when these kind of things happen. So, it was very interesting, though, Peter, because I was actually pretty calm when it happened. I kind of looked at it as though it was a little bit of a vacation, but I felt violated because somebody hacked and took over my profile. And and they asked me for all kinds of information, to get it back, information that I thought was very, like your passport, a copy of your passport and things like that I didn't want to give up. And so obviously I got it back. I did get it back. And then I went to do my show live on Facebook, as you know that I do. And I couldn't do that. It said that they had suspended my account. And I didn't understand what I had done there. But it appears I was able to find out that something that supposedly I had posted, which I had not, according to their, what do they call it? Their standards of behavior, or their whatever, their community guidelines or something, they said was offensive. And I still don't know what it was. I saw a picture of something, but I imagine that whoever hacked me then posted that as me, and they shut me down, wouldn't let me do my show. So not only have you not seen me in a couple of months, but my listeners here in Baltimore and all over the world really have not been able to see me. I surprised everybody. I think you saw the video. I literally was sitting in my father-in-law's Honda Odyssey minivan in the driveway of their house here in Florida, doing a little, hey, I'm back, kind of a thing. I just gotten back from the Publix.
How did you know that you were able to go live again?
Well, because I tried to before and a few days ago, and they said it was a 30-day window, which is how I knew. I tied it into about when I was hacked. And I knew around June 22nd, whatever, that it was a 30-day thing. It was a 30-day suspension. And I actually been thinking about it because I've been down here in Florida since June the 22nd, and when I come down here, I like to give the folks a break. And so I'll, take the car and go off and visit friends, which I've done in Tampa. And today I was in, I spent the weekend in Ponte Vedra, PVB, and then I got up and went to Ocala. So I was thinking about doing a live segment from any one of those places, and I didn't, and so I was prompted to do it today from the car, and I did it. So
I was surprised because I was getting ready for the show, and all of a sudden I'm always flipping on my phone. I mean, it's just the way it is, and I'm constantly checking people out and posting because it was a big day. I wanted everybody to know that you're back. I mean, I'm
I saw that. Thank you.
I was going to bring you back one way or another on your own or with me, and all of a sudden you're live. I'm going, son of a bitch, he's live. I was getting ready to go. It's like fighting the live battle. So I mean, it's took away your freedom. Your freedom was revoked.
It did, and I guess that's the big thing. Really, you touched on it. It was nice. It was a nice break because you talked earlier. There's a lot of work involved. There's a lot of what's that word I'm looking for? A lot of sort of emotion that goes involved in what we do, and collateral. That's the word I'm looking for. Collateral. There's a lot involved in what we do, and when somebody takes that away, and nobody, the thing that I say about Facebook is you're guilty until you're proven innocent, and then you're still guilty. Right. And there's really nobody to talk to. It's unconscionable to me that somebody could just, that easily come on there, and
they don't have a customer service. You can't
they don't
call them. Well, yeah. I mean, think of how many people they'd have to deal with, I guess, to do it. I get it, but I don't get it. It is frustrating because I went through that setting up this whole ordeal, and back in the past. And then when my name got, they started messing with me. I wanted to be Peter G. I didn't want to be Peter G. Gisellas or Peter Gisellas. And it was just a hassle.
Really? They gave you a hard time with that?
Oh yeah, because they want to, here's the thing. Because of the hacking, they want to know that you are who you are. That's why they asked for all that stuff. And remember, I said to you, because I gave you a call or a text, we were talking, because you were pretty pissed off about the whole thing at first, because you were dumbfounded by it, because I can't believe this is happening. Happens all the time. I'm so sick of getting these, hey, you want to have sex, on these girls. Every day I'm getting these invites, and it's like, why can't they stop this crap? So I told you, do you have the 2-stage verification? And you said, no, I was going to do it and I didn't. And it's like, I didn't want to do it either, but thank God I did it, because that's the one thing. If somebody tries to do something, it goes to your phone or something, and it won't change unless you
approve it or authorize it, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah. And that's one less step to going through all the shit you went through,
Yeah.
So anyway, but the thing is, here you are, and it's like, but I'm watching the process, and it was like, I get it. It's kind of a nice break, but we're building. We have to keep. People want to, it's like that kind of deal. It's like you got to keep on that steady flow, and it is a lot of work, and it's frustrating. But the thing was, like, Bob Paff just like said, you got to a point, and you just like say, screw it, I'll deal with it, and you've dealt with it, but live you disappeared. You just couldn't do it.
I did.
And I was getting ready to tell you that, I've just finally, through other people who I've been talking to since last year, there's another new platform that's getting ready to be launched publicly on July the 5th. And he's already invited me on. I already have the phone app, everything. And let's just say it's F-Book without the Zuckerberg. There's no censoring. And so that's their whole thing. And maybe and the thing is, I don't know if it's like a what they called it before the other one, that Parlor. I have no idea I never got on that, but I didn't either. I was already on this, and it's different looking, but it's basically the same principle. It's just like anything else. If you change phones, you get a different kind of phone, and it's always a learning curve, but it's basically the same principle, except there's no censor, and they own their own servers. So, the whole thing about not getting shut down and all that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So I don't know where it's going to go. And I told this person who's been on my show, and I said, I'm not really, pro patriot and this and that. And I don't, he said, it doesn't matter, Peter, it's just do what you do. So it's another opportunity to go somewhere because things are changing, and there's no doubt about that. Now, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but I promise you that the future is changing, and even, everything can't last forever, including, one of the platforms that we're mainly on. Yeah. So I'm open to new opportunities, and I just said, you know what, I'll dabble and we'll see how it goes. But I'll tell you about it. And it's going to launch publicly the 4th of July, but because it's a Sunday, it'll be the 5th of July. And if you choose and you want to go on there, at least you'll be able to say what you want to say, and don't worry about anybody shutting you down. So.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing is, I don't consider myself controversial.
I don't either, but look what happened.
Yeah, that's a scary. And a lot of people said that. I mean, I talk about spirituality and religion, and I talk about, of course, my son's death and suicide and depression and things that really matter. I mean, mental health or mental. It's the number one public health crisis in this country. That's really what it comes down to. So all the things like addiction and suicide and all depression, it's all mental health related. I think every problem that we face is mental health related, and I talk about all those things. So there's really no reason to censor me or shut me down unless and here's, Peter, what I think may have happened. And I've been told it's pretty easy to get in and hack somebody's account, but I do speak out a lot about what's going on here in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
I do speak out a lot about the mayor of Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm born and raised in this city. I feel that I have an obligation to do that. And I don't want to use the word entitled, but I have an obligation. I'm not a carpetbagger. I didn't move here from someplace else and start complaining about it. And people say, what do you know? I know a lot. I've been here for a very long time. I've spent 50 plus of my 60 years living in Baltimore City. So I speak the truth. If somebody is elected to an office, I want them to succeed, whether I voted for them or not. It's not about me and what I think. I mean, I have a right as a voter and as a citizen, certainly in a city that it's as dangerous as Baltimore is. But I would like these people to succeed. I would like to have less than 300 murders a year in Baltimore. I would like the police commissioner to do his job.
Right.
And that's really what it comes down to. So why shut me down or why censor me?
Well, look, if they could shut down the president, they certainly could shut down me. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, you know what, Peter? And I think in that is some kind of a message that, we got to silence this guy because he's speaking the truth. I'm talking about me in this case, not the former president. But what I'm saying is true. It's just true.
I'm not. Yeah, that's the thing, though. Maybe some people don't want you to be heard. I mean, who knows what they're thinking? Who knows what's going? I never in my lifetime. Now, I don't want to say my lifetime, but we're in the United States of America.
Yeah,
and you see what is going on, and we're so divided, and now everything is being plagued, and I mean, it's just been who would have ever thought this stuff would actually come to life, and it's just been seriously wrong, and we're living in some weird times right now. So your little message might be a lot bigger than what you think or I think or whatever. You have no idea, and that's it is what it is.
I think that's true. I think you're right about that. So there's an underlying compliment, I suppose, is what we're trying to say there. That if just by speaking the truth, you're upsetting people or whatever. So yeah, I suppose so.
No doubt.
And I do what I do. You and I do similar things, and I think we're different in our approach. You and I talked before about I'm organic and grassroots, and I sort of speak and do what I do when the moment hits me.
Right.
I'm not as technical as you. I don't have all the stuff
I'm all
that you do. And all
I'm
that.
all screwed up. Don't try this at home.
Well, I'm not going to try this at home because I can't do it. I mean, I'm sitting here in the midst of, this is my temporary. I
was expecting you in a car, or
I was going to do that, but I thought, what, this works. This is.
Look, I don't care. I said I just want you on because it's been 2 months and all this stuff is incurred. So the bottom line is I didn't care if you were down hanging out in the alley. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But we both at it in the same way, but yet different. I mean, it's because everybody goes at this in a different approach. I've kind of, I don't know.
Everybody has their shtick. My show I followed 3 hours of Sean Hannity when I was on the AM station here in Baltimore. I'm not going to mention the call letters anymore, because I walked away from that station of my own free will. It just didn't work for me, it didn't fit for me anymore. But my point is, I decided intentionally that I didn't want, after 3 hours of Hannity, I didn't want to do more of the rage and all that, pissing people off and whatever. I wanted to talk about more, and that's not a dig or rub against him, not that he cares, but it was really like, what matters to me? What do I think matters? What should matter to other people? What should matter to other parents? I saw a post a little earlier on Facebook. I can't, Sue Harrison, I think it was, and I'm trying to think the group. I apologize, Sue, if you're listening. And it was something to the effect, basically, of, oh, I know what it was. She was talking about the world coming to an end and not being afraid of that. And she's lost a child. And so my comment was, once you've done what we've done and gone through what we've gone through, there's no greater fear. And I think, and there's a lot of truth to that. So my point is, I talk about things that I think really matter to people. Because, Peter, at the end of the day, do we really know what goes on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue? No.
No.
Do we really know any of this stuff? I don't, listen, I don't care if the president was Bush, Obama, Trump, or this guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of speculation that Biden has dementia or this or that or whatever. We don't know. Yeah, you can tell. I mean, one of the things I noticed, and I posted something earlier. He's my president. He was elected, and whatever people are going to say, stole the election. That's not going to be overturned. Let's move on from that. But I noticed, I was talking to some people and I watched him. It's like, he always looks like he's going to fall asleep. It's just nothing going on. And I was making I don't care if it was Trump or Bush or Obama or Franklin Roosevelt. If the guy looks like he's going to fall asleep, then it's like, what's going on here? So what
about the part that he doesn't make a whole lot of sense when he's talking too?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I listen, the first time the guy, and I know we weren't, purpose of the show wasn't talking about him, but the first time he ran was 1988, I believe, so it's like, I don't know, 3 strikes you're out, 3 times you're out. I mean, the guy wasn't giving up because he wanted that job, but at almost 80 years old, this is just my personal opinion. I don't think he's capable of it. I really don't.
Run the show anyway, but again,
no. Well, he's not. He's absolutely not. And if people believe that, that's okay. If you believe he is, I personally don't believe he is.
There's a lot of people that think the elegance is back in our government. It's like,
oh God, no! Come on, the elegance.
No, but what am I supposed to do? It's it's very black and white. And they're thinking, saying, "Screw you, you're crazy," and we're looking at them going, "Are you friggin' for real? Do you not see what's going on?" Anyway, either way,
that's part of the bigger picture of what's going on. You were talking about changes, and you can feel it. I was having a conversation in Ocala today with my friend Elizabeth Bladesdale, and she was talking.
What's her connection? How are you friends with her? What does she do?
Elizabeth?
Yes.
She had she moved her horse operation, her entire farm from Maryland down here, and bought a farm here in Ocala, and so she has 50 acres in Ocala near the she's about 30 minutes away from the World Equestrian Center, WEC.
Gotcha.
Yeah, an amazing place. Oh my God,
Ocala's badass. I mean, that's probably the horse central for Florida.
Well, it is. I mean, Wellington is the polo capital of the world, and so that's close to West Palm. But the cool thing about Ocala, and I had never been, and people said it's different than a lot of the rest of Florida. There are rolling green hills. You don't see that in Florida. Even what they call farms here or ranches here are dry and flat and all that kind of stuff. So it's not what I'm used to in Maryland, because Maryland is big horse country and it's green and all that, and Florida's not. So
let me tell you, I've been walking. I was heavy into walking before I left LA. And coming here, I did it the first 2 weeks, and it's flat, and there's no challenge on my legs, and walking faster. And I stopped because I'd stop. By the time I'd do about 4 miles when I was here, and then I'd stop. I'd just be soaked. I'd start unbailing 2 gallons of water, would be sweating out of me, And I just got so busy over here that I haven't walked. And you and I have both been trying to do a few things, and basically for the last month I have not walked, and I'm going to be a little scared once I get back to California challenging myself to, the pain that I went through, going through for the hilliness and trails and this and that. And now I haven't done it. I don't know about you.
Well, it's funny you say that because was it yesterday? Maybe it was the day before. Yesterday. What's today? Today's Sunday. So no,
You losing track of the days?
It was yesterday. I got over 12,000 steps, and I walked a large part of that on the beach at Ponte Vedra, which was very cool.
I've been hitting the beach, but I haven't been walking. I just.
How long have you been in Pensacola?
Oh,
A long time now. Right?
Yeah, since mid-May.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I thank God every day. Yeah, absolutely.
But you're going back to California, though.
I got to. Yeah, I have to. I mean, I don't have to. But I am going to. I have to. I kind of have to. Yeah.
You have family in Pensacola. That's why you were down
No, not hardly at all anymore. But I have a million people I grew up around, and I have a home here. And
okay,
still, and it's just a place to lay my head and kind of break the. You know what I mean? I like people go on vacations and this and that, and when I come here, it's just there's a lot of work involved, maintaining and things like that. But I'm still very grateful, and I got so many people. I grew up playing music in this town. I mean, that's where
okay.
And so I have a million friends, that the ones that are still not that are alive, and a lot of them I'm losing a lot of friends. It really sucks, but I have a lot of history here. Let's just put it that way.
But you're from what, Connecticut or something? Right?
I was born in Connecticut, yeah, but we moved here when I was 15.
Okay.
And I got to tell you, I did my shaping up once I got here, moved away from a lot of people, so I was starting at zero again, and I was only 15. So, but that's when I really decided. Like, here's how I made my decision on who I was going to be when I grow up. And I still haven't figured out who I'm going to be when I grow up. But,
let me know when you figure that one out. Right.
But the thing was, it was like I got a job working as a driver's helper for 7-Up, Dr. Pepper, a beverage distributor.
Yeah.
And I made some money, and I had some money. And it was like, am I going to buy a stereo for my car, or do I want to replace my cheesy, cheap Chinese cymbals for like professional cymbals, like, for my drums, because I was a drummer. And the cymbals, I had a problem because my father bought me when I was 12 this, like Japanese little drum set, and you step on the hi-hat. The hi-hat is the two cymbals that go together with you step on the pedal. And so when you stepped on them, if you stepped too hard, the cymbals would invert because
really?
they were just stamped out tin, whatever the hell they were, golden tin. And so like, do I spend money and get real stuff? And if I do that, I got to pursue it. And or do I want to like a really cool stereo for my Ford Pinto?
Yeah.
Ford Pinto.
1974
Ford Pinto. Yeah.
Are they the ones that exploded, or was that the
Gremlin? They were.
They were the ones that exploded. Yeah.
Still here. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was it. And I committed. And when I committed, that was the beginning of the everything. That's what got me to LA. That's what got me everything. That's, here I am. Yeah.
So do you go to Pensacola every year? Is this a new party? I didn't know all this.
Well, I know you don't follow, but yeah, several times. But let me tell you, since my father passed away, and because now I have no parents, my mother's gone. October will be 6 years. My father 2.5 now. I have jumped back and forth here, real quick trips, but I used to do a lot of extended stays because I could. Because prior to the show, my life was a little bit different and things were different. So I just, came in, my folks, that's all I got. I don't have brothers. I don't have sisters. Even if
your parents were both living there in Pensacola?
Yeah. Even if we were yelling at each other, which we did a lot of that. That's East Coast stuff, But it was I still love my parents very much, and they love me, and I know that.
Of course.
Believe me, I see a lot of problems with families. They, especially as the parents get older and things like that.
Yeah.
But true. I grew up here, and I did my shaping up. That was the pivotal turning point in my life as to who I'm going to be and what I'm going to do. And I, started out playing in bars on Pensacola Beach. I was 17. The drinking age was 18. And then I turned 18. They moved it up to 19. And I was playing. I told, because I'm still close friends with one of the women that were managers of that place when I was 17 years old.
Wow.
I played 6 nights a week, 5 sets a night, which is 5 45-minute sets a night. Every night was a Saturday night and there was only on Pensacola Beach at that time. We're talking 1978, 79. There's probably 4 places that bands were on the beach, playing in nightclubs.
Yeah.
It was a lot less built up. I played 5 sets a night, 6 nights a week for $230 a week, and I thought I was in heaven. Okay.
Really?
Because I was 17 years old playing to a place like every night was a friggin' Saturday night during tourist season.
That's awesome.
And
what a great memory.
Well, it's the truth. And now you go on the beach. I mean, there's probably 40 places to play on the beach, and unfortunately, I don't think the money has changed very much when it comes to poor musicians.
That's hysterical. Well, it's true. You're right.
I love my friends, but the thing is, I grew up here, and it's again, the water's probably 80 degrees. I don't know what it was. This, I just stick a thermometer in it, but I don't like cold water. There's shrinkage, so I don't like cold water. And
shrinkage.
And there's sugar white sand, and when you walk in the sand, your feet squeak. It's so fine. And
I've never been there. I don't know anybody that goes there.
We are getting closer together one way or another. Like, what I mean? And it's like, because
what's Pensacola close to? Give me another city that
Mobile, Alabama. It's the farthest city. It's the farthest city before you fall off of the map of the panhandle of Florida.
And you and I were talking about Panama City because my daughter's
100 miles east. So your daughter would have to drive further 100 miles to get to Pensacola. It's the farthest city before you fall off that little panhandle.
Okay.
Mobile, Alabama is only 60 miles. I can get to Mobile a lot quicker.
Wow.
On the interstate, yeah. But it's got sugar white sand. Panama City, Destin, Florida, Fort Walton Beach, Florida, and Pensacola have this. It's called the Miracle Strip. Now, from hurricanes, the white sand has dissipated some because we lost a lot of that from hurricanes, and they've dredged up from like miles out, and they shove sand back on because Pensacola is just like beach is like an island. It's like a barrier reef. And so we lost. It's not as white as it used to be. But if you go to Destin, Florida, and Panama City kind of area, it's still pretty darn. I mean, it's white.
Fort Walton.
Don't get me right. Yeah. Fort Walton. Yeah. I was there. I went and played with a friend of mine in Fort Walton a couple of weeks ago. And yeah. So it's pretty.
Are they crowded places?
It's kind of crowded. A lot of people from the upper states come on down. I mean, that's the whole purpose of it. But can't complain. Can't complain. And it's warm water, and I mean, I was in the water yesterday. And it's like I don't like cold water. I never go in the Pacific Ocean. It's like screw that. The sand is coarse and brown, and there's rocks in the water, and it's just so different. Emerald green light water. It's called the Emerald Coast. It's called it's a postcard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll get there. I mean, believe me, like I said, as things expand, and budgets get better, eventually, one way, shape, or form.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Prayers up.
Cool.
But okay, so let's do this. I know we're talking like stuff. No, we got off.
No, it's good.
Well, that's true because before you know it, it'll be the end of July, and you'll be back on quicker. 5 weekends in August, but I said you'll be back on before you know it for July, and we'll get into the deep, hard stuff. I just wanted to catch up because you went through so much stuff, and I'm going. I feel for you because I've been there, and that's why I had to change the whole format the way I do stuff. Because I got tired of Facebook, just being so particular, and they don't know you, and it's easier to cancel you out than to do anything.
Correct. Absolutely correct. Yeah, I'm looking into other things. I mean, I've not done anything on YouTube. I do have a YouTube channel that I post things to, but I'm in discussions with people about doing some other things. Everybody's talked about a podcast. I started out in television. I told you that. So I want to do a podcast that is cinematic. I really do. I mean, I believe that people like to see who they're listening to or talking to. I do. I mean, I enjoyed the radio, but when I did the radio, I did the Facebook Live show, and that's how we built the audience all over the world. I think there's something. How do I use this term? Missing. Certainly, there's another level of connection when you can see the person. You can see the emotion. You can see, and I'm not afraid to emote. And so, for me, that's an important connection. Is having that visualization.
Oh, I get it. I get it because I mean, back when we first started the show, my producer at the time, who chose to take on the challenge, Ty, said, I see what you want to do, but you guys don't have enough money to do it. And he says, we got to back it down. He says, why don't we start with podcasting? And I mean, but that didn't last but 6 months for me. And right now, when I get back with Pepsi and all that, we're talking. There's so much that's why I got to get back. There's so much change going on because I have slipped. People love podcasts because while they're driving, or working, they can listen, and listening is better than. I like visual. I'm a TV guy. I just like visual.
I do.
But people, I mean, and I go, but there's 5 gazillion podcasts. Anybody and their sister can make a podcast.
I agree with you.
Yet there's plenty of room for everybody. I mean, it works. And so I got to get all these shows uploaded. We're going to start a whole new podcast. I said, I'm more concerned about where it's going because, so we're saving all the audio.
Where is anything going? Quite honestly. I mean, I think we're on this, right? Where is anything going? I've never felt this way in my life, and I don't think it's just because I'm getting older. It's officially now my birthday.
I know. I was getting to that too. Bless it. You just beat me to it.
It's official. Yeah, it's officially. But I like really, where are we going to? I mean, there's just still this heaviness around everything. My youngest is about to be launched off to college. Things are coming together and ending for me in lots of ways. This is a really challenging time. For me, it really is. Lots of chapters are closing. My son goes to school in Rhode Island. My daughter's going to be in Pennsylvania. I have a son now in Denver, and so they don't need. I mean, your daughter's younger than mine, but they, you're always going to be dad, but they need you in a different way, and they need me really less. So much of my identity, for those who know me so well personally, know that so much of my identity's been wrapped up in being a father.
And that's the thing. Believe me, I get it from some of my closest friends over here. They're going, buddy, they go, why don't you just move over here? You got everything you need over here. Why don't you move over here? I go, I got everything I need over here, but I don't have my daughter over here. And they go, well, I go, because she has a mother in California. I don't want to split the, and they go, well, she's going to be in college soon. I go, that's 3 years from now.
Right, correct.
I said, we'll deal with that in 3. I'm telling you, I got
deal with it in 3 years. That's right.
And my friends care and they love. Again, I'm so blessed. I am. I have access to things that I just can't do over there, and they care, but they don't see it the way I see it. And I will not leave my daughter. I just won't. Do
they not have kids?
Oh, they do, but they're all like local, and life is different, and
right.
And I just said, she's got a mother over there, and her mother's good. We had
problems. But she only has one father.
Well, and she only has one mother, and that's the problem. It's like they go, well, she's going to be in college, and maybe when she goes to college, then you can move back to Pensacola. I go, and then when she gets off for break, she has to decide where she wants to go. So we're still, because even my ex is she's constantly talking about pulling up roots because California is a bitch. It really is.
I hear that more and more.
Well, it is. I mean, if you want to just pay through the nose for everything, again, I love it. I hate it, but it's industry based, and I'm still, going to stick it out because and then as things get better, I don't know. I just tell myself the day I can start flying private means I'm okay. And I can just jump back to Pensacola because this place I can just let my hair down, so to speak, and just unwind. It's peaceful.
Yeah.
I have it's peaceful. And I'm okay in California too. I live in a great place, but it's just it's at a third, 2/3 the price, for the same kind of peace.
Has your daughter been there to Pensacola?
Oh, she's had the best. She's been here except for this trip. Now she's getting older, so it's getting hard. But she's had the greatest summers of her life. She's been here every summer as a child. Oh no! Wow. And my friends take her under their wing like their own. This little girl she has done more things that I could never provide. Some of the things from water stuff to horse stuff because I got equestrian people here too.
Yeah,
and she has had they have taken her as their own. I have more support here for her than I do over there.
Wow.
Oh no, I'm blessed. I'll flat out tell you how grateful and thankful I am. These people, because of, again, if you grow up to be a semi-decent person, I think it kind of comes back to you. I'm nobody special, believe me. I bitch and I wear my heart on my sleeve. I bitch about it I open up and I tell about life and truth because it's just life. It's not nothing. I'm not embarrassed about it. It's just life. And and these people still love me.
Listen, that's huge. I don't have that support system. So you talk about your parent. My mother died in 2005. My father in 1991.
Yeah.
My brother, today was the June 27th, because now it's officially 28th. Yeah. The 10th anniversary of his death. He was only 54. And that's it for me. No cousins, not that I'm close to or any of that. No, nobody. And I don't have that support group that you have of
I have a lot of people.
That's incredible.
And
that's a blessing.
Well, it is. And again, like today I got up and I went to go see somebody who real quick, because I've been here for over 6 weeks and I have not seen this somebody who was, pretty close to me. But first I stopped over at the cemetery. I make it a habit going over there to where my parents are buried, and it's like, it really doesn't, and does it change anything if you go there or not? I don't know, but I feel better.
I agree. I feel like if I haven't, particularly with my son, not as much as my brother and my mother and my son are all buried within feet of each other. I feel it more if I don't go out to see my son's grave than I do if I don't go to see my parents or my brother's grave, honestly. So, no, I get it. I understand what you're saying. I personally feel
it's a tough one. But I know people that have lost and they don't ever go. And like, again, to each their own. To me, because I'm sitting there talking in my head, which, and it's like, I know it doesn't make a difference. I know it doesn't make a difference because in my mind, they're with me right here, and they're with me right here. But I just physically go, I rake it's not like, I just kind of like do all the little things around their grave that maybe that they don't do. And
absolutely.
But I feel better.
Yeah, no, I go trim the grass. I keep all the, when the dead grass that they keep when they cut the lawns there, and I clean all. Yeah, I hear you.
I can't tell you that if I lived here that it would be any different or not, but at this point in time, this is what I do, and that's the way I feel, and I do it. And and so I stopped by. It was only for a few minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, but you can't stay there forever.
Were your parents buried there or born there?
No, not at all. Both my parents were born in actually, I take that back. My mother was born in New Haven, Connecticut, and my father was born in Greece. But my mother was very Greek. I mean, in fact, I'm shipping back a picture. I have it's a vintage frame. Everything. The frame is over 100 years old with a bubble kind of glass. Yeah. And tomorrow I'm going to try to have it shipped and not get broken. Of my grandfather, who was named Peter, of my mother's father, and he was in World War I in the American Army, and there's a picture of him standing up in his Army uniform, and he died at 42 years old. My mother was 11 years old, and he died because the Germans sprayed mustard gas during that war, and he got sick with cancer after that. So even I don't know how they migrated to the United States. Obviously they did, and my mother was born in the United States.
Okay.
But when he was going to die, he wanted to go back to Greece. So in 27 or no, 38 or something like that, because it was 10 years. My mother was born in 1926, so he died when she was 11. So in 1936, 37, before that they went back to Greece so he could die. This is the world. That was war. You know what I mean? Yeah. Everybody complains about shit. It's like those were the days that you walked 40 miles for wheat to make bread and all that kind of crap.
Yeah. Wow.
And then my mother eventually, wanted to come back to the United States, and she did. But both my parents are Greek to the bone. But anyway, and in Connecticut, and I was born in Connecticut, and then we moved down here because of family. But little family, we don't have much. But here we are. But it's like it's been good, and I growing up playing in bars for a lot of my teen years and my early 20s and things like that. You meet a lot of people, and
Sure.
So I have a lot of roots here, and
that's awesome.
It's been a good ride, yeah. But so I come here, but everybody's like, oh, you're just doing what you look like it's not all fun and games. I mean, I work there's things I have to do. I just don't emphasize on it, but it could be worse. I mean, I'm very, very, make no mistake.
How much longer are you staying?
I'll be back. We'll be back in June, July 11th will be my first live show in back in LA.
Okay. Okay.
So it's almost time. Time is flying.
Yeah.
And believe me, I almost would have stayed through the whole month of July, but I miss my daughter.
Sure.
And she was going to come here with me, but she's making a living. She cleans and feeds. I don't know. I think we talked about this, but a couple of months ago, because she's been doing this forever. She cleans and feeds horses for a few elderly women in the neighborhood. She's making like $400 to $700 a week.
Wow.
Yeah, wow, is great.
Cleaning horses for elderly people?
But because there's people that have where we live, there's people that have some stuff and like they shouldn't have them. I mean, but they love them and they keep them and so she's making she's doing for a 15-year-old. She's doing okay, but she's hurting for rides because she can't drive yet and she's chomping at the bit to be driving. And so she's me being gone has put a damper on things. She's relying on her sister, half sister, and it ain't pretty. I mean, they don't want to drag her around and
Right.
she has to like pay them off.
Wow.
Yeah, but her mother works a lot and all that. But the thing is, my daughter works. I know the one thing she'll be glad about is that I'm back so I could drive Miss Daisy. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean, of course.
But she's going to be 16 soon, and she's already asked me, she said, do you have my birth certificate? I need to go apply for my learner's permit. So as soon as I get back, we're going to start driving.
So she was born in California.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's
California girl. And your ex-wife, California?
absolutely. Venice Beach.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's the problem. I mean, that's life,
Yeah.
right? You know, we do it just the way it is. I will not leave that little girl, and she's not little. But I just told her maybe a week ago, I said, everybody's like, why don't you move here? And say, I will not leave that girl. I rather go through, harder times or this and that because it's like, she's everything to me.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here, because we're talking about the struggles. And tonight is, again, more about like, let's get back to catching up with all the whole deal. We're not hitting about, the current events and all that kind of stuff, but it's just like, you're down in South Florida, and because you're so close with your ex-wife's in-laws,
Right.
normally blood is thicker than water.
Yes. Yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, we were really friends from the beginning, when first time I met him, and he just refused to stop, speaking to me, refused to cut me off after the marriage ended. And that's been, the marriage ended almost 12 years ago.
That's rare. Because they choose sides, it's their daughter, it's their son or whatever. And it's like, F you, and you're, and here you are. It's like, you always praise how much you love these people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's, that I wish, see, I was the greatest thing since sliced bread up until my divorce.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then everybody just cut me it was so easy. And I'm going, if it was that easy, then I was never anything to you in the first place.
Well, and I get that because remember I've done this twice, and so I've been married, divorced twice, so I get that. I've been on that side of that.
Yeah.
And you're right, it is very unusual to have that. But if people, I'm all about standing on principle, really, and sometimes maybe I've stood on it too hard. That people think, let it go, or yeah, this person did this or that, whatever, it's time to move on. And I get that. But I don't know. I mean, I'm just, and probably comes from having a father who, I came from a broken home. So my father had an affair with my mother's best friend and our neighbor. And that wasn't pretty at all. And so I think that's where a lot of this comes from for me, Peter, is being there for my kids. My father was never there for me. I was a phenomenal athlete. One of my cousins was drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers, and I was scouted as for Major League Baseball. But nobody came to watch me play. Nobody supported me. Nobody showed up at my games and any of those things. And by the time I was 10, my father was gone. So it's why, and I tell people I've coached pretty much, I've coached every sport that my kids have played, with the exception of lacrosse, which is the big sport in our family. But more importantly, whatever they played, it was important for me to be on the sideline at those games, because nobody was ever on the sideline of my games. I was really good. And so if offensively, I was an offensive player. I mean, I could, 3 home runs and dropping the ball into the water, and you'd look over and nobody would be there. Yeah, it's tough for a kid. It's tough for a kid.
It's crazy because a close friend of mine here, neighborhood friend,
Mhm.
when I first got here, he works a lot and he does a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden he said, I said, "What are you doing tonight?" He says, "Oh, I got to go to I don't remember what game it was, a soccer game or something like that." And I go, "What are you going to a soccer game for?" He goes, so and so. He's got a girl that he's very close with, and her grandson was playing, and she couldn't make it." And he said, and so she couldn't make it. So I went there to be there so somebody could be, so he knew somebody was watching him.
No kidding.
Oh yeah. Talk about, you know what I mean?
Wow.
You know how important that is. And you know how important that is.
I do. I do.
I'm going, Paul, my friend, who's, again, he's been a godsend. I've known him since I was in 6th grade and didn't even live here. He's a neighborhood guy, and we were visiting, and I met him, and we've been on and off, and like the cycle has come around again, and he's around a lot, and it's like this guy went out of his way to go support a grandson of somebody he knew because she couldn't be there, just to make sure somebody was watching that kid. I get it, watch me.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. Yeah, so
it's
I didn't have any of that.
That's important.
Yeah, I didn't have any of that. It's probably why. I mean, I was a cocky athlete, and I think if I look back on it, I think that's probably why. I was probably angry that nobody was there, that nobody showed up at the games, that I never got that affirmation from my parents. I've been riding horses since I was 10 years old, so I was an accomplished athlete in many things, but it really didn't seem to matter to anybody. So, and my son plays lacrosse in college. So, I try, and he's in Rhode Island. I'm in Maryland. I can't be there all the time, but I try to get there as much as I can.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Important stuff.
Again, look, at the end of the day,
Mhm.
we're still here.
Mhm.
We're still
Yep.
here.
Yeah.
And you're aware of, here's the thing I think that's most important. You're aware of what is good, and most people don't get it. Like they're just know thyself. Again, going back to that, which is something that was brought to me, back in 2016. Know thyself. If you don't understand you're just floating through space and time, and whatever happens. So at least you're aware of what's going on, and that I guarantee you that's why it has made you a better person.
Yeah, there's no question about it. There's no question about that. As I said, I probably maybe times dug in a little bit too hard. I think honestly, and I don't know who's going to listen to this, but I'm very open. My first marriage ended in 1998, and arguably probably before. My point is that's a long time ago, and I know there were times, and she had an affair with a neighbor, so I lived through it twice. I lived through it with my father, and then I lived through it with my first wife. And I'm sure there were times that everybody was like, "Oh, let that go. What's the big deal? Yeah, it happened, whatever kind of thing." And some things I just like, in my mind, wrong is wrong. And in time, Rose Kennedy said, I might have said this on your show before, because everybody says time heals all things, and I've never believed that, by the way. And Rose Kennedy made a comment, and she's quoted as, I don't know what the quote is exactly, but her point was time does not heal all things, scars them over, it makes it easier to deal with or whatever. And she was absolutely right. So when I read that, and look at the tragedy that woman lived with, you talk about bearing a child in your lifetime. Apparently, I guess when Jack Kennedy was killed, they didn't even tell the old man because he was on his way out anyway, right? I think he was in really bad shape. And it's like, what's the point?
Right.
But she's right. I mean, that stuff doesn't go away. So yeah, it's tough.
But you managed to plow through it because life is for the living. We were here, so you have two choices. You can either self-destruct or you can move forward, and that's the difference between you and other people. And that's the thing. I think self-awareness is something that has to be understood and learned. I mean, not everybody gets it, and you can dive bomb, but yet we're here, and you're trying to make a difference.
Yeah.
Here you are weekly except for the fact that you got hacked.
Yeah.
And which leads me to the last and final thing, because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
Your birthday's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, your birthday's
Now. It's now. Right?
Yeah,
So I'm on here. I'm on doing the show, right? My birthday show.
It depends where you're at. Yeah, it's your birthday. I mean, where were you? You were born in Baltimore, correct?
I was born in Baltimore.
Okay, so it is your birthday. So it's now. So
well, Peter, it's funny because I've been getting messages because obviously we're LinkedIn's a huge platform for me, about probably 26,000 connections. And so I've gotten a few messages because in Australia it's already tomorrow and all these other places, right? I've been getting messages all night. I've been getting them while you and I have been on the show, but I got back here from Ocala about 7:30 or so, and I've been receiving messages all night long, which is sweet because
it is sweet. So even though it takes only a second, it's the fact that they took the second to do it.
You know what? I do it all the time when I get the notices that it's so-and-so's birthday or whatever. And I just, because Dale Carnegie said it, the sweetest word in the English language is somebody's name. So people, how much of an effort does it take to acknowledge somebody? And do I get it right 100% of the time? No. Do I forget some people? Jackie O'Rourke, if Jackie's listening, she lives in Baltimore, and I felt terrible. She posted something because Jackie and I are, these are people that I know personally. And there was something about her I know what it was. When I posted my video earlier from the sitting in the car in the driveway, Jackie said, I'm watching it now. She said, we were at my birthday dinner. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot your birthday, Jackie. And I did. I said that. It's like, I forgot your birthday. Yeah. Well, and I was kind of off the radar because it's been a long weekend. If Clint McGuire is listening, I was funny because I was telling Ernie, my father-in-law, earlier, I was hanging out. I spent the weekend in Ponte Vedra with a 33-year-old friend of my two older boys. And this guy's single and he likes to have a good time. And he takes such good care of me. I mean, I feel like he's another son. So I'll go. So I showed up. I went down there on Friday and he said, here's what we're doing. We're going to this place for happy hour. And I made a reservation at 7:45 at this restaurant. And I was like, okay. And so we meet up with some people, had a good time for the happy hour thing. And then we go to dinner. And he's like, well, let's go here. Let's go there. And finally, like after the third place, I was like, let's go home. Because really, I got to tell you, Peter, I was like, it was gorgeous. I think I posted some of the pictures. We were on a rooftop deck of some, I don't know if it's an historic hotel, but really very charming, called Casa Maria, I think it is, in they call it Jacksonville Beach, which is just beyond Ponte Vedra anyway. And because Ponte Vedra is not really a boom town. So, for nightlife, whatever, people go to Jacksonville or whatever, it's that close. But anyway, he was like, let's go here, let's go there. I was like, let's go home because I'm old, I'm tired.
Oh, boy. There we go.
No, really, man. Listen, I'm not a party animal.
I know. I understand that.
Party animal.
But
I'm not.
It's here's the thing I'm having a problem with. Because because I know so many people, they're all going, oh, are you in town? Or are you still in town? They go, we really need to get together. We really, and as Gene would say, we really, really need to get together.
Yes.
And I'm going, listen, I can only have so many dinners and go. Unfortunately, there's one of me and there's hundreds of you. And I love all these people. I do. I mean, I have history with 99% of them. But if we don't but I used to be the guy, like, I go, okay, I'm going to be over here. All that want to come over here, come, because I can't do it. And I was the guy that would stay up till 5 a.m. making my rounds. I can't do that anymore. I have responsibility. Well, yeah, I'm still, look, I'm kind of blessed that I still have the stamina if I have to.
Yeah.
But when my daughter came along, it's like I had a responsibility.
Sure.
And so now she's not here with me because my plans were to bring her here, send her home for the first time on her own after a few weeks, just so she could be here. And she just said, you know what, Dad, I got too much, and there's horse shows and all this kind of stuff. And so it's like, she said, next trip. So, but the thing is, even still, these people are like, some people are still figuring it out. They're like, you're here? And I'm going, yeah, pay attention. I've been here. They go, well, can we get together? It's like, no. I mean, I love you. I love you. I do. But I can't because you're figuring things out. There's just too many.
Yeah.
So be grateful. I mean, I am definitely grateful, but I mean, you're down in Florida frolicking around, and when are you going back?
Well, Tina's surgery is July the 1st.
Oh, yeah.
I'm down here for her cancer surgery, and she'll be in the hospital for anywhere from 1 to 3 days. I am scheduled to be back on July I think it's the 10th, but I don't. It could be before.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, be grateful that you can be there. Because it's not always that easy. Most people can't. I mean, here's the thing: when I would tell people, they go, "How long are you here for?" I go, "A couple of months," and they go, "Wow, it's a long time." It's like, yeah, it kind of is, but it kind of blows by really quicker than you think. I mean, but a lot of people can't go. I go, nobody's been knocking down my doors in California, to come visit because you can't get away. You work till you die. It's one of those deals. So it kind of sucks, but it's your birthday. So today or tomorrow, whatever you want to call it, right now is Bob Paff's birthday.
Yes.
Wow. Well, we're still here.
Yeah, we are.
We are. That's a big deal. That's well, I'm telling you, I'm dealing with, I hate seeing, even now, I got close friends and people are dropping like flies from either age, illnesses, or they just didn't take care of themselves and illness kicks in for the whole deal.
They can't be that old, and you're not that old. So your friends, your contemporaries, these are
I
people
have
that you're losing?
a lot of musician friends. I just lost a musician friend a month ago, and he was in bad shape years ago. He had several heart attacks, and he still didn't take care of himself, and it finally had the ultimate heart attack, and I mean, and
it's a hard life, right?
Yeah, it depends depends what you do. I mean, my life is my life a hard life? I don't know. I'm kind of conscious of it. I'm trying to find that balance. I was no angel, but I kind of realized that this isn't going to, I want to live. I got things to do.
But some of them, if you did that hard, if that was your life, you did it hard, you're paying the price for that.
No doubt. And I just feel bad. I feel bad for the living, the people who have to deal with the after effects, know? And people that I looked up to, a lot of them. I mean, it goes on, and I love my friends, I really do, and that's what makes it so sad, because it's like some stuff. I mean, look, we're all gonna go. It's inevitable, and I don't care if we live to 150. Somebody's
we're all gonna go. Nobody's figured out how to keep anybody here forever,
and somebody's gonna be sad about it, and and it sucks. But I don't know. I just see some of my friends go way too young, and okay, some things are not. You just don't have a choice. You were dealt a bad hand. But a lot of my friends around here with the musician ends of it or something like that, they just don't pay attention enough, and they just kind of live. I don't know. But all I can do is just be alive.
Be you.
Be you. But right now it's Bob's birthday. The infamous Bob Paff, Baltimore's Bob Paff in Florida, and I'm in Florida, but yet we're so far apart still.
Florida's a big place. It's like New York when people don't realize how big New York is. Florida's long.
It's long. If you take Miami and you take Pensacola, we are the two farthest parts,
which is incredible.
If you're in Jacksonville, you are at the beginning of Interstate 10. I am at the farthest part of Interstate 10 before you fall off of Florida, and then that road will take you all the way to Santa Monica, California.
I've heard Clint was telling me that. We were talking about 10.
I drove it once.
Yeah. He said it's the biggest drug trafficking highway because it's coastal, right?
I cannot confirm nor deny. I don't know.
I mean, I had not heard that.
I don't know.
He's in the shipping business. I don't know.
I think the biggest drug trafficking right now is at our borders, but we'll talk about that in July.
Yeah.
There's a big old mess, and we'll get into like normal stuff. I just wanted to talk personal stuff with you right now because
I appreciate that. It was good.
And so prayers to your mother-in-law.
Thank you.
Big time, because nobody likes losing anybody, and I mean, even though I got people that go, we beat cancer, and then cancer's cancer. It's just
it is.
It's just I don't know. I mean, I could wake up tomorrow and shit go wrong, and you go, why me? But and then you got some people that accept it and they go, whatever God's plan was, it was God's plan. But but anyway, we're here right now, and I appreciate you staying up late in your parents-in-law's house in Florida.
Former parents-in-law, right?
Well, that's all right. They're still, you know what?
Yeah,
you look like
pretty cool.
That's as close as blood can be. Oops, did I just do that? Holy crap. Hey, I lost you. That's why. Hello, Bob. Bob just cut himself off. Oh, that's just wonderful. I just turned the music down and stuff. And it's like, because we're enthralled in such music. Yeah, there you go. Hello, Bob. Bob to Peter G Show. Bob to Peter G Show. Unless his phone died. Wow, we were getting ready to go anyway. You could at least say goodbye. Happy birthday to Mr. Bob Paff. And I thank you, Bob Paff, for being on my show. As always, East meets West. We got personal again tonight. We didn't talk as much politics and a bunch of crap. No, I'm not a party animal, Michael. I'm just a little bit more spry than others. Take that any way you want to take it. I'm just, again, I count my lucky stars and thank God every day. But Bob, I lost Bob. Talk about where the hell did Bob go? Anybody seen Bob? All right. I thank Bob Paff for being on the show. That's one way of getting off the show. I'm telling you, I cannot keep an hour show. It's always got to be an hour 15, hour 20. Someday. Next week's 4th of July. Next time I see you live, I'll be back in the saddle in LA. I'm so thankful and grateful for all the time I've had right here in the Gulf Coast in my 6 weeks plus of summer show tours. I love this place. I really do. I mean, I just have to jump back and forth. I don't know if I could be here full time. I like LA too. I do. Every place has its pros and cons. Did you ever notice when somebody goes on vacation, they go, oh, it was wonderful. I could live here. It was so awesome. But you talk to the people that live in the town, and because when I was touring, and they go, man, this town sucks. I'm so sick of this town and this and that. And you go someplace because you're only there for a week or two, a couple of days, whatever, and it looks beautiful. I don't take any of this for granted. I love every place I'm at. You'll never hear me talking bad about it. I'm so thankful for everything. I'm thankful for you guys. Now, I'm thankful for Bolt Energy because Bolt Energy supports me and they know what I do and they still sponsor me. So thank you, Bolt Energy. Electrify your senses. Here's the deal. Next time I see you, July 11th, because we're taking 4th of July off. We are. I decided that the holidays, if they fall on a weekend, we're taking it because people are busy. So I'm killing myself and nobody's even around. But thank you for everything. So we're going to do something. It's something worth watching anyway. But July 11th, I'm going to have TikTok sensation. That's right. I found him on TikTok. My Dad 317. Sunday night, July 11th. TikTok sensation. My Dad 317. Mr. Steve Corsi. He's a car guy. I mean, hardcore car guy. He's been in the business for over 30 years. We're going to talk about why people hate to buy a car. And believe me, I can relate. He's pretty cool. He's a very matter-of-fact guy. So My Dad 317 on TikTok. Steve Corsi is going to be on this show, and we're going to talk about why people hate buying a car. Because, again, we'll talk about it then, but don't even get me started. But it's just like, why can't it be easy? Nothing is ever easy. But he's a cool guy. He's very in your face and very truthful. He gives out a lot of tips about buying cars. And I just wanted to bring him on because I end up watching him. So it is what it is. I want everybody to have a great, safe 4th of July weekend next week. Don't forget what 4th of July is about, people. It's not about hot dogs and hamburgers. I'll mention it next week to remind you. I'm going to just chill. I will. Life is short. I love you. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for watching. Let's go. I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of changes after July. I'm going to invite you to go to a different platform that I'm going to, but I'll still be here. But change is inevitable. It just is what it is. But I'll let you know that when we talk next time, okay? So from now, thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching the Peter G Show. Share, subscribe to YouTube, please. Just be on it. It's free. Just be on it. I'm telling you, it'll be easier in the long run. You'll be able to see more of me because I may join some new network and drop off another one. I mean, things are changing. That's growth. It's been a great. It's been great being down here. I love it here. I love being everywhere, and I love you guys. Don't ever forget it. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Okay. So from now, let's just get out of here, and everybody take care of yourselves. Don't be be kind. I say this a lot. Be kind. Don't be an asshole. Don't take any shit from anybody. I mean, it's easier said than done. But be kind. Life is just too damn short. The problem is we've just forgotten what it is to be a decent human being. I'll see you soon. All right? Peter G, peace out. I love you guys. Enjoy your week.
Peter G Show. Peter G Show. Divorce Dad.